Alrighty, hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Okay, so we have our rocket and it launches to space. So now what we need to do is configure the astronomy sensor. That's what we're going to be working on today, the astronomy sensor. This has got a whole bunch of channels. All right, so let's do this. Let's take a blank microcontroller. All right, and in here we're gonna put in the astronomy sensor. Sensor. All right, and then what we're gonna do, we're gonna update that. All right, so what we need is, I think, X, Y, and Z. 1, 2, and 3. We'll just go with that for now. 1, 2, and 3. All right. So, composite. These are numbered channels. 1, 2, and 3. All right, and then we need 3 outputs. Number, output. This will be X. This will be Y. This will be Z. All right, and then that needs to be output. All right. Y and X. All right. Then what we're gonna do is, I guess we could run that into a Lua script. All right, so we'll say input X equals Y equals Z equals get number channel 1, channel 2, channel 3. Then we want to say we'll do a couple of things. So then we want to say screen.draw text. In 5, down 5. And X. Now that's going to give us an absolute value. So what we need to do is we need to change that. We need the code for that. So if we update this, and I wonder if I have anything that I can load into here that has code on it that I can. This probably. I wonder if I'll have to do that all over again. No. Alright, so we need to say X, Y, and Z equals one, two, three. Alright. So then this will be 5 by 5, and this is going to be X. X, Y, and Z, and then we need to set the color. Is that right? Is that right? Alright. Then we'll also, yeah, there we go. Okay, so now we need to remake this microcontroller. Oh, actually, I just do that. There, that's all I need to do. Alright. And then we need a video out. Video output. Oh, okay. There we go. So now we should be able to get the XYZ onto a monitor. So, take the astronomy sensor. Let's save this just in case I decide to do something again. Video, and then what we can do is, while we're sitting in the seat, it'll turn the monitor on. Yeah, that works. All right. Oh, line 9. What's going on? Line number 9. Oh. Ugh. Spelling. It's funny how it doesn't catch the spelling in here. That's why you gotta watch that sometimes. Now what's going on? Oh, is that no, 000 is black. So let me see here. Yeah, it should be blue. Let me see. Oh, draw text box. That'll explain why. Well, my code appears to be very broken. There we go. So this would be our X, this is our elevation, and this is our Z. So if we go to our map, and we look at our X and our Z, 4,700, 28,000. So there you go. So you see, so now if I move this way, this is our Z, and this is our X. So that's how we're going to remember that when we're aligning ourselves in space. Now, I'm not 100% certain, we're going to have to check, but when you get to the moon, it inverts. So, and I think that's the confusing thing, is that when you get to the moon, it inverts. And that's why these numbers basically reverse, and the distances switch. And I think so, but we'll check. We're gonna verify that. So anyway, so if we think of that as our X and our Z, now it makes sense with the alignment of the rockets that this is our, you know, it makes sense. Anyways, all right. I don't know what I'm getting at here. So now, we've done that. We have our X, Y, and our Z values. So when we're launching into space, we're going to use that now to calculate our distance. So what we need to do now is we need an input. Okay, so there's two ways we can do this. We can take a blinker. Yeah, we'll do it this way. We can take a blinker. Okay, now what the blinker needs to do is we need to do this first. So we need the blinker in. Now, why am I doing it this way? Because the blinker is a pulse. If we run it through the Lua and we say every tick make this true, it's going to be a constant number. It's going to be constantly true. Even if you tell it to only do it once, it's always going to put out a true value. So you have to go true, then false, true, false, true, false. So the only way to do that I have found is to either set up a timer or a blinker. Now there is an internal blinker. Yeah, there you go. But then it still needs to be turned on, right? So either we do it internally or we have an external input. In this case, we'll just put an external input on it. Now what we need to do is we need the memory stores. Okay, memory stores work with a pulse. You pulse it, it saves the value. All right, now we're going to be reading this. We need the composite read number. 1, 2, and 3. So this is our X, this is our Y, this is our Z value, okay? So what it's going to do is, every time it blinks, it's going to save our current XYZ value. Let's see, we need 3 more memory stores, okay? 1, 2, 3. All right. X, Y, Z. So we have our starting position and our current position. That's how we got to think about these two numbers. Starting position, current position. So what we also then need is a on button. And that also has to be a toggle. So this has to be distance on. And then in here, it's just going to be a push button. So it's going to save those numbers, and then every blink, what we're going to do is, I think we need to subtract. It's either that or it's, we could divide, I think, maybe we divide it, let's see. If we divide where we started from into where we're going, that should output a distance for us. I think that's right. I don't know. We'll play around with it. I've only done this once, so I'm not totally certain. It's never a good place to start a video from. I know. Now what I'd like to do is I'd like to run this into the Lua script. But we're going to start on, let's work backwards. Let's start on channel 30. So this would be 30, 31, 32. We're not going to be that high with the astronomy sensor, but there's still a couple of more things I'd like to do. So we'll do that. So then in the Lua script, we need basically copy this. And we are going to say blah, 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 distance. And then this is 33. No, 32, 31, 30. 32, 31, 30. Just like that, alright? Then what we'll do is we need to print those numbers as well. So we're almost running out of room here. If we said 5, 10, 15, and then we said 20, 25, and 30 basically. They're going to be right on top of each other. That's not going to work. This one's going to be off the screen. So if we do 2, 7, 8, 13, 18, let's see. That's got to be 14. That's got to be 20. And that's got to be 26. That's got to be 32. We'll see. Alright, so the blinker comes in. And then what we also need is a distance. For now, let's just, well, it needs to be a button. Push button. Here, we'll just set it out like that. All right, we'll see what that value is that we get here. So it's the same value. And then let's just go main rocket thruster 1. Let's just try this here. So we launch. Oh, you know why? Load the autosave. And the audio in Stormworks has crashed, so. Now we have to set up the blinker. So if we set it for 1 second, every second, it should be continuously calculating our distance. Every second, we should be getting an update. So let's see if we can do that. Now, I wonder if that needs to be a constant on signal. I think that needs to be a constant on signal. So if that's the case, then we'll just make this internal into the microcontroller. So we'll try it. We'll start with that. And then let's change the color of it to maybe to green, so it's easier for us to see, to discern the difference between our X, Y, and Z values and our distance. So we choose green. Let's see. And this is going to matter, right? It's going to matter when we start doing our rotation and building our compass. All that stuff. And we'll be able to get our distance from XYZ to XYZ this way, so we can calculate our direct distances. Yeah, so then something's not correct here. It's actually not doing anything. What it's doing is it's giving us our oh, that's why. That would probably help. There we go, 0, 0, 0. And then if we say turn on the pumps, and we'll just go up a little ways here. No, that's not quite right either. Alright, let's make the blinker internal, and let's see what we can do with that instead. So this blinker in, we'll get rid of that. Pretty sure it needs a constant on signal. So we should only have to do this once. and then from there, this should be constantly saving the distance. And then if we divide that into that, but I don't think we divide it. I think that's where I went wrong. I think if we subtract it from itself, that difference see what happens. Now I haven't looked anywhere prepared, so I just sat down and was like, okay, let's see if we can do this. So that's, if you're wondering why I might be a little confused. There we go. So now if we press 1 and 1, and let's say we just launch. There we go. There we go. Now that value it's giving us is in feet. In feet? Look at the, it's pretty close. See, it's pretty close. In meters. That's in meters. Now you see we've only gone off our X and Y hardly if anything. That's pretty cool. So that's where, like, we can, you know, we need to go south a little bit. Oh, no, we need to go north a little bit. That's actually not working. All right, so now you get the idea. So this is our distance versus the actual where we are. This is our actual distance. So, oh, I can still go in the word from way up there. Let's see. So we've done that. Okay, so now we have our distance calculated. Now from there we should be able to get our speed. Because speed is distance divided by time. I'll have to look up this one here. Yeah, distance divided by time. And our distance is our speed. Oh yeah, whatever, doesn't matter. So, speed is distance divided by time. So we have our distance. So now what we need to do is we need to divide this, which is our distance, and we need to divide that by whatever this is. Every second, this should be 5. But if that's the problem, if we set the constant number to 1, that's not right. Yeah, every second it's giving us our distance away from here. So what we need to do is we need more memory stores. And now what we need to do is we need to measure the distance between here. So let's see, between this save point. So this will have to probably be set up on a timer. All right, so every second it's going to take, so it's not this one that we need. So let's see, let me figure, I think I might have this, let's see, every second we need to take this value, which is our current position, and then we need to compare it to another value that we saved 1 second later. Yeah, basically. Because it won't matter. All that matters is the timer. It's not going to give us a value until. So what we need to do is what? Let's see. It'll save this value, and then we need to compare it to this current value. Yeah, I guess. So now we're 27. So 27, 28, and 29. Let's see. 27, 28, 29. 27, 28, 29. And this will be distance, speed. X, speed, Y, speed, Z. Okay. Speed Z. All right, and then we need to take that here. All right, and then, so now these numbers can be in front of those numbers. So if we said 5, we could say like 16 maybe. We could even go 20, because these are just going to be, we could say 25. I imagine at the very most there'll be 3 digits. Oh wait, that's wrong one. No, that's the right one, yeah. Alright. There we go. So then we'll set it up, and we'll just get this rolling. There we go. So that's our speed. That's cool. No, that can't be our speed. Oh, it's not working. Alright, let's see. So something happened. Nothing happened. Actually, it was all zeros. It was all zeros. It was all zeros. Let's see. Because it's supposed to be distance divided by time. So this is the part that's flawed. Because we have our starting distance, and then 1 second later we need to compare it to this distance, which we get from the timer. Though it seemed like these were reversed. I wonder if that's what's happened here. If it starts like that, 27, 28, 29, blah, 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 blah. If that's the case. One of them, we just weren't getting a value, that's all. All right. Yeah, see, 0, 0, 0. I guess they've been switched back now. Ay. So it was better. It was better the other way when they were reversed. Okay, it was better when they were reversed. So just like that. Now, speed. We need our distance. And maybe, that's what I'm thinking, maybe it's too... Because I mean, in theory, this is our distance here from there. So if we divide that by 3, but the problem with this scenario, no, that doesn't, that's not going to help. That's not going to work. What we need is our speed. We need to know our speed. So we need to start, we need to have a clock that starts. We need to have a clock that starts. The reset when off, and then it needs to be told to turn on. Okay, so then if we have a constant number in here, we can make it every second. From the blinker, it can turn on. Then we take the memory things, like could probably use a couple of those upgrades. And then what it's going to do is it's going to save this value. There we go. Then what it's going to do, it's going to divide this value into this value. All right. Oh, it fell. It fell through. Alright, so now we're launching. No, something's up with this channel. It's not giving me any... It's not giving me anything on that channel. So something's up. This, 27, 28, 29. 30, 31, 32. So what's going on? Now it's just a printing issue. Let's see, 27, 28, 29. Let's get a couple of outputs here. Alright, let's see if it's outputting, if it's this that's the problem. It's kind of hard because we need to be traveling in order to test it. Now we're getting distances, but we're not getting speed. So what is going on here? Why is this not working? This side works. It's got to be this side here. I'll change that to 3. All right, well, I think we found the problem. These aren't working. Outputs an on signal when the timer reaches its duration. The timer will reset when off. Oh, so this is the problem now, is that it's blinking. That might be better. Surprised though, so every second it's getting a start timer signal from the blinker, from the internal blinker. Well, I still don't think it's working. I don't know why. Alright, well, I'll have to take care of this a little bit later, it seems. Oh yeah, a little bit later, it seems. I'm just having trouble calculating getting this to work. Unless I'm not waiting the 3 seconds. Or I just set up another blinker. And that's every one. Yeah, we could say 1.5. Oh, when the blinker's on, it sends a constant on signal. Alright, let's see if that works. So it's on, and then it's off, and then it's on, and then it's off. Oh, we got some action here. Oh, there we go. So it was giving me some numbers there. It was giving me some numbers. Right, so what it needs to do, because that number is constantly updating. Alright, so now that we've got the blinker thing sorted out. Where do we go from here? The blinker comes in and it blinks. And this one is saved. Oh, that's, I see. So what I should do is that, and this should be like that. Yes, for accuracy, and then every, all right, let's see if that works. Because we just need the pulse, and it'll save the number. That's all we need is the pulse, and it will save the number. I guess we have to use our overall distance here. And we have to divide our overall distance by our current position in order to get an accurate idea of where we're going. So we need to take our current position where we started from. We need to take where we started from. Divide that by where we are. Perhaps? Perhaps? Who knows? I'm sure I'll figure it out eventually. Wow, we did a little bit of Lua in this video. We did a little bit of launch testing in this video. Woo! That's a big number. 980. Now, I had this already set up on the space shuttle. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to look at the space shuttle and see what I did. See what I did there. It's the same thing. I'm just a little, I think I used a button. Something like that. But I'll figure it out. I can't get it in this video. I have to look and I got to go do a few things. So anyway, so thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribing. Yeah, we made a video and we did some stuff and some more stuff. So yeah, some Lua work finally and some ship work. So that'll do it. What do we do? Just the astronomy sensor. XYZ. XYZ distance. That's the start. From there, we'll go from there. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.